Call me what you want, but you can't call me broke. Money. Pull up with that chopper and a telescope.
So today I'm just coming with to you guys with a video about how I study for school. One of my subscribers actually requested that I do a video like this, so I thought it was a great idea actually. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So basically, I'm just going to walk you guys kind of through what I did for my first semester, because as you know, like I stated in my last video, the semester is actually over until January the 13th, but I did, you know, I can still show you guys the method that I used. Now, I only will be showing it to you guys for one class, and that's going to be Pharm, because my other two classes, all I basically did was kind of read a little bit through the book, took a couple notes, and that was pretty much it. But Pharm was actually the class that I can actually show you guys like in depth, because I had to do a little bit more for that class, just because the information was a little bit, it was a little bit more difficult, so I had to do more. So I feel like me focusing on that class will kind of give you guys like a better idea of what I was doing, because you'll actually be getting a lot of detail. So, if you would like to see how I studied, just keep watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, guys, make sure you hit the notification bell, because then you'll be notified every time I post a new video. First, I'm going to show you guys kind of what my notebook looks like and my book, because those are the two things that I use to study. In my classes, we were provided, you know, PowerPoints, and you were able to print them out and stuff like that. So I printed out every single PowerPoint for every single class. So I had, you know, all the PowerPoints there, and I would also, you know, when you attend class, they go over the PowerPoints. You make sure you're highlighting, jotting down any little notes to the side that'll help you remember things, or anything that your instructor like emphasizes for you to remember. So I have that in there, and then I would go and, you know, I would always read my book, you know, each chapter, still highlighting. And one thing that I always like to do is take those little post-it sticky notes, and I would write notes for, you know, anything that I found in the book that I felt, you know, maybe on the test or was something that I needed to know. I would jot those things down on those sticky notes and just stick them inside my book on the page, you know, where I found them. So I would have my PowerPoint, the notes that I took on my PowerPoint, and the notes that I take in the book, because the information in the PowerPoint is probably only like a fourth of what's in the book. So the book information is really important. So then I would go and I would just write. I have like a full, like, because I take my notes on like the white printer paper with no lines, because I write really big and it gives me like more space to just write a whole bunch of things. So I would, you know, do the sticky notes, and I would also write detailed, very detailed notes on those white sheets of paper. And it would just be like loaded, because I'm a writer, and writing really helps me to be able to remember things. So that helped me. Now, I don't know, it was a lot of work, but you know, if you're like me and that's how you learn, it's very helpful, especially because then you can take notes and stuff like in your own words of how you will be able to understand it. So that's what I did. So after I took all those notes and I had all the PowerPoints, then to study, I would pretty much just read over all the notes that I took. I would look at them and highlight certain things and stuff like that. And that's how I studied. And I would do that, you know, a couple times a week, like, maybe well, it depends on the like content that we were covering at that point in time, because sometimes we would cover things that required me to look at it every single day just to, you know, be able to really understand it. But most times I could just, you know, like take 3-4 days a week, couple hours, just kind of go over my stuff. And that's how I studied. It helps me. I mean, it's not elaborate or anything like that, but it helped me, so maybe it can help someone else. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I did to study. So that's for farm. And then for my other 2 classes, I had fundamentals and health assessment. Those classes were kind of, you didn't really have to do much to study. I would still use the PowerPoints, and I would look through the book and make my little notes on sticky notes. But that was pretty much it, because a lot of that information is just like straightforward. It was I don't know. I didn't have to do as much for those 2 classes. So for those classes, I just pretty much studied from the PowerPoint and the little sticky notes that I took. That was it. I didn't have to go and make whole other notes pages for those 2 classes. So yeah. And also, another thing that I found helped a lot of my classmates were study groups. Now, I'm not really the study group type of person. I like to be quiet by myself, in a room or a table or whatever, just studying by myself because I focus better. But I did hear from a lot of my classmates that, they would form study groups with like 3, max like 4 people, because you really don't want to start doing 5 and 6 and 10 people, because then like you're going to find yourself just kind of joking around and stuff more than you're actually studying. But so yeah, they would do the groups with a couple people, and they would all just take notes on whatever the material was that we were covering. And then they would get in the group, and everybody would kind of read off the notes that they had, because a lot of times you find that somebody else may have jotted something down that you didn't get. So that was helpful for a lot of people. And I don't know who's to say that maybe next semester when I start like patho and adult health, I may do that, because it may help me. So I don't know. All study plans are subject to change depending on what type of material you're covering. But yeah, so those are just a couple of tips on, how you can study and what I did to study. And like I said, that's subject to change. And if it does change, once I start my 2nd semester classes, then I'll do like an updated video on what I did for those classes. But I mean, it worked for me, so I'm probably pretty much going to keep the same study routine and, things that I do. So yeah, guys, that's the end of this video. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you're in nursing school or want to go to nursing school, or any type of school where you have to study, which most people do, just put in the comments like what you did to study or what you do to study, because it's always good to get other ideas. I may need other ideas. There may be like other people watching that need other ideas, so drop them in the comments. So alright guys, I'll see you in my next video. I love you all. Thanks for watching, and bye.
Antidote, 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 antidote.